So, a couple minutes ago, I told you that this speech has been something I've thought about for a long time. It's been 3 years, in fact. I sat through my first graduation ceremony after the conclusion of my freshman year here at Smith, and watched Ben Shaking give a rousing speech to the class of 2006, shortly before they threw up their caps and went their separate ways. Now, I don't exactly remember much from Ben's speech. Sorry, Ben, if you're in here. Well, I do recall discussing with a good friend of mine, Tyler Walters, how I wanted to do the very same thing for our graduation. I told him if I could work my way up and seize the right opportunities that, I would try and leave our class with something just as inspiring as Ben had done for his class. Plus, after 3 more years of high school, I figured a piece of wisdom would surely come a knocking so I could share it with everyone in attendance. So as you can see, I managed to make it up here, but sorry, but the wisdom never really came. Not to say that I've never picked up anything about life during my time at Yale Smith. In fact, nothing could be farther from the truth. Though if you really want to know how to make a perfect cut in the lunch line, or make a plate of salad disappear without actually eating it, or manage to pull off a C+ in Latin even though you don't know anything about the I'm that good. Actually, that Miss article is that good to me. Anyway. So if you want to know about those things, just see me after. But, this past year, I really racked my mind and my heart for what to say to you guys when this moment came. There's always been something bouncing around in my head that I could catch pieces of, but I could never really pull it down to put it into words. Something about being human, something about the human mind, and something about, just life in general. So for the past 2 weeks, I've been forced to pour all of my efforts into doing outside research for this speech, and abandon my ideas of humanity and life. I read, listened, and watched over 100 commencement and graduation speeches given all over the United States, looking to see if someone could articulate what had been teased me to no end up here. I took pages of notes, scribbled ideas on the whiteboard occupying half the wall space in my room, trying to piece together something I could be proud of. But 99% of the speeches were garbage. They had the same jokes, they had the same lofty tone, the same stories of perseverance, the same message to follow your dreams, and the same lame quotes that tied off in a nice bow. I wanted nothing to do with them. I don't have stories of perseverance. I just have stories of treadmills, Superman, getting lost in the Vatican, Virginia Beach hotels, and Ernest Hemingway. So, I got nothing of the sort about perseverance. And of course, some people will, but I'm not going to tell you all your dreams. You've heard that. You know that. Alright? And I'm not going to end the speech with a nice little quote to tie it off. I'm sorry. I don't want you to remember someone else's voice as opposed to mine. But anyways, through all this, I found myself working the hardest I've really ever worked on a school paper, was not even getting graded, and still to me, found a way to fail. There was, however, something that I came across that rebooted my thoughts and ideas about humanity and life. It was a part of a speech given by a woman just last year, in fact, who brought herself up from the poverty line during her 20s and 30s to become one of the most successful people on the face of the planet. She talked to the particular graduates today about the benefits of failure and the importance of imagination. For as she put it, imagination is not only the unique human capacity to vision that which is not, and therefore the fount of all invention and innovation, but the power that enables us to empathize with humans whose experiences we haven't shared. This is exactly what I had been looking for. The power of the human mind and a significant part of what some call the human condition, all put into one sentence. Now, towards the end of the speech, she spoke of a quote nearly 2,000 years old in the Greek author Plutarch, who once said, "What we achieve inwardly will change outer reality." This is an ancient statement, but it's proven every single day of our lives. And tonight, we've all come together to celebrate the inward achievements of the Yale Smith class of 2009. And that is a knowledge and experience each of us have gained throughout our time in high school, which has now come to a close. This statement also recognizes the fact that human beings can affect one another simply by existing. Even in a society so focused on our current economic recession, we fortunate citizens of the United States should realize that the vast effects of our presence has on outside borders. The way we vote, the way we protest, the way we live in our environment, all extend to people the way they never meet. So, if we indeed hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, who may we become, and what shall we do to touch the lives of our equals all around us? Given this knowledge and experience, graduates, we are now asked to go forth in the world. But with these gifts comes some pretty great responsibility. This world is at a furious pace heading into a time of pretty great unknowns. War has unfortunately become an ever-present part of our lives today, and even genocide still lives in the poorer parts of the earth, such as Sudan, as it spawned unthinkable hatred and power. The climate is under attack from carelessness, and cries of hunger can still be heard by listening ears. Diseases with working cures still manage to kill off hundreds of thousands of millions of people around the world. So what can we do? What can we hope for? Well, I can tell you this, you can go back to Plutarch. Start achieving inwardly so that you can change your outer reality. Make your personal habits of the future ones that you're proud of and that others can look to as an example. Utilize your ability to think and imagine for the betterment of yourself and those close around you. For as a human being, you have the power. You have the abilities no other creature on this earth can boast about. You can envision what is not. You can empathize. And you can think. But ultimately, the choice is up to you. Your choices, now that you've established a concrete level of independence from your parents, will now become the foundation of your habits. And the summation of those habits will form your character, by which others, and soon the world will know you, for better or worse. Now if you choose to use your knowledge and experience gained now as proof of our diplomacy, to help other, less fortunate human beings around the world, you will have changed their reality and inspired them to go out and do the same. Then it will not only be your family that cherishes your existence, but hundreds of thousands of people whose reality has turned for the better because of what you did. Always remember, the power needed to undo wrongs and establish any right is inside of you, as long as you refuse to doubt yourself. Now before we turn our tassels, throw up our caps, I have a confession to make. I lied to you all. Yep, people lie. Yep, that's me. But it was only when I said I wouldn't be anything but a quote. The first speech that ever really truly touched me was one I saw on ESPN of all places. It was a rerun of Jim Valvano, former North Carolina State basketball coach, speaking at the 1993 ESPY Awards, which is the sports awards, kind of like the Oscars for those of you who don't know. He was dying of cancer at the time and moved nearly everyone in the theater to tears with a speech titled, "Don't give up, don't ever give up." If you've never heard it, or don't think it's as good as I say, you can trust me because it's earned 5 stars on YouTube. So, Houston class of 2009, wherever your travels take you, wherever you may end up, please do not be afraid to say hi to me, and don't give up. Don't ever give up. Thank you.